Heart Sutra is a one or a part of a vast collection of sutras, commentaries, and writings around the development of wisdom. There are different titles for the Heart Sutra. So the Heart Sutra is just like a shorthand title that we've adopted over all these centuries, but the longer translation of the Heart Sutra is that we're using the heart of the transcendent perfection of wisdom. So some other titles include the heart of the perfection of wisdom, the essence of the perfection of wisdom. So it's really about the perfection of wisdom, getting to the point of the perfection of wisdom. And so the perfection of wisdom falls into a category of 6 other perfections, right? And the perfections are really studied across multiple schools, right, of Buddhism. But when we start talking about perfections, right, you have to disrupt this idea of perfection because it really gets in the way of what we're trying to do. We're not trying to become perfect wisdom people because perfection doesn't exist in the relative, but perfection in this context really means that we're actually trying to transcend what we know or understand about wisdom itself. So we're going beyond wisdom, right? Which is how we begin to understand the rigorous labor required to get free. You have to go beyond what you think is freedom and liberation, which is to say that we have to go beyond what this sense of ego is actually trying to understand about freedom, because freedom and liberation, particularly embodied in the relative, isn't something that we can understand, right? And this gets into the contradictions of the Heart Sutra, as you've read probably so far, right? It's going to the edge of whatever we think is the limit and then going beyond. And we do that because we have to outpace the ego. Like the ego is always trying to stay ahead of us, right? The sense of self is always trying to outpace us. And so what we're trying to do in going beyond is actually outpace the limitations that this sense of self is putting on any of this work. I don't understand what freedom is, and that's a great way to start this work, right? Because we're entering into this very non-dual kind of experience, this non-dual experience which transcends this linearism, the linearism of saying, okay, this is where we're starting, this is where we're ending. But as you understand, even from reading the Heart Sutras, that there's no such thing as beginning or end. Right? There's no such thing as anything. And so you're always reduced back to emptiness. You always keep getting pointed back towards emptiness. And initially, this is an intellectual pursuit, right? And this is why when we get to the mantra, the Gate mantra, which is associated with Prajaparamita as the expression of the mother, the Gate mantra actually enters us. It's like a mantra is like a spell, right? That enters us into the actualization of emptiness. So the felt experience, the embodied experience of emptiness itself. So yes, we do the work of studying and understanding these philosophies, and then we begin to actually expand into the experience of emptiness, which is, again, non-dual, it is non-linear, right? It becomes this experience that transcends language and actually transcends the intellect and logics, right? And this is why it's so hard for us to really like understand or conceive this notion of liberation, because it actually abides beyond anything that we can possibly imagine. And that's the primary energetic contradiction here, is that I have to go somewhere that I can't even name, I can't even understand, but I'm told I have to go there, right? And where is there? So that's when we start coming back. So I keep like gesturing about going somewhere, but as the Heart Sutra suggests, we're not going anywhere. Like we're just becoming, we're waking up in this moment, right? The perfection of wisdom or going beyond this idea of wisdom and clarity is really about us actually experiencing the openness of everything that we have labeled as a process or as something that's tangible.